Good morning, students. Today we won't be dealing with any new chapter. We would be continuing the last chapter, that was chapter 4, heat. We will be studying in detail, one by one, what are the different modes of heat transfer that we use. That is generally there. There are basically three modes of transfer. As you all know, one is conduction, convection, and radiation. Now, heat always flows from a body at higher temperature to another body at a lower temperature. In the picture that is shown in front of you, there is a hotter object and there is a colder object, right? So the law of heat follows that the direction of flow will be from hot to cold. See, heat always flows from a body at higher temperature to another body at lower temperature. What is the result of this? The temperature of the hotter body falls down and that of the colder body rises. Now what happens is the temperature of the hotter body, that is the fire, that will fall down because it is coming in contact with a body which has a lower temperature. The lower temperature body here is cold, right? That is ice. Now what will happen? The temperature will fall for this and the temperature will rise for ice. The flow of heat stops when temperature of the two bodies becomes equal. When does this flow of heat stops? This temperature becomes equal of the two bodies. That is, these two, if we consider these two bodies to be different and having a varying temperature, the flow of heat will stop as soon as both the temperatures are equal. That is, we call it there is no more heat transfer. The very first mode and the most common mode of heat transfer is conduction. We will understand the process of conduction with the help of a simple activity. Here we will show that the heat travels through a metallic solid by conduction. We would require in this a thin metallic strip or a rod. You can see here in this picture there is a metallic strip or you can use a rod and you have a wax over here. The red dots is the wax, is the melted wax which has been dried on a rod. And then we need an iron stand where you can damp this metal rod onto it. Now there are procedures that follow. First step of the procedure will be we have to take a longer metal strip and we have to put a few drops of the wax at an equal distance. The distance between these droplets we will consider to be equal. Now we'll place a Bunsen burner below the free end of the strip. Now the free end of the strip is this, right? Note down the order in which the nails begins to drop. You will notice that the order in which the nails are dropped, in which this nails or the wax is dropping, is from here to here. Now this is the direction. What observation do we make from this? The wax nearest to the flames drop first, then the next, and finally the nail farthest from the flame. This happens due to conduction. As heat travels gradually from hot end of the metallic strip to the colder end, the wax melts and it falls down one by one. What do we conclude by this activity? That the heat travels through solid by the process of conduction. This gradual flow of heat in a solid from a hot end to a cold end is called the conduction of heat. Heat conduction from an object to another takes place under the following two conditions. There are basically two conditions. One is the two objects should be in direct contact. Here you can see the first condition has been satisfied. They both are in direct contact with each other. The temperature, and the second one is that the temperature of the two objects should be different. That is also true. The Bunsen burner has a high temperature whereas the metallic rod has a lower temperature. So what happens is from higher temperature to lower temperature the heat travels. You can also see in this animation that the heat is traveling from here to there. The red atom depicts the higher temperature. It slowly becomes red till the end. It is very much clear and you can get a clear picture of this conduction of heat also. This is an example. In the third picture you can see a live example also, that sometimes when you happen to touch a metallic pan with no insulation holder, then you can feel the heat in your hands. Now this is all about conduction. We will deal with the next topics, that is the radiation and convection, in the next videos. Kindly do the worksheet that has been provided to you. Thank you very much, students.